Yes. Yeah.
But like the comparison, like with me and some of the other guys.
So that'd be something neat to see, the Harris Centers
The Pirates playing in Williams.
Welcome to the Non-Letter Sports Podcast, episode 38, the home of sports talk for everyone. I'm David.
I'm Jason.
Welcome aboard. Now, this week it went official, so we decided to do this as our first period topic. Tom Brady retiring. Who would have thought? And then that Ben Roethlisberger retires right before Brady actually officially retired, because there was rumors that was he retiring? It wasn't officially announced. And then you texted me the other day, it's official.
Well, I think Ben was kind of a given.
Yeah, I figured he was going to be a given.
And you know what? He had a long career for the style of player he was.
Got hit a lot. I mean,
he took a lot of hits, and he was a big dude. I mean, for a quarterback, he was tough.
Yeah, and the fact that he was able to do what he did for being the size that he was, he was a hell of a quarterback. I mean, he was a Steeler through and through.
He was. I know a former Steelers quarterback is not the biggest fan of Ben as a quarterback, but I think he's definitely earned his shot into the Hall of Fame. And I had to pull up Brady's tweet about Ben's retirement. Did you see this?
No, I didn't. I missed it.
He tweeted, Ben defied the TB12 method in favor of the throw some ice on it method his whole career, and ended up an all-time great with 6 Pro Bowls and 2 Super Bowls. There's more than one way to bake a cake. And I thought,
there you go.
It's a little funny, but for a guy who everyone claims doesn't always act like a class act, that was a pretty class act thing on Brady's part.
Yeah. Everybody thinks he's, like you say, he doesn't do class act things, but that was nice that you put something on there for him.
And you know what? He hit it on the head. Ben was the kind of guy who would just throw ice on it.
And just go. He would barrel through it. I mean, despite his injuries, he would still barrel through it.
Despite the stupidity of riding a street bike without a helmet.
I bet you that went into a contract clause.
I'm sure it did. I'm sure it did.
I mean, for somebody who was, he was 2004 draft, first round, 11th pick. So he was up there. And
and that tells you where the Steelers were at that time before they got him.
Yeah, being that the pick was that early. Because normally, if you're a good team, you don't get that early of a pick.
Right.
He played almost 250 regular season games, 23 playoff games, 2 Super Bowls, 05 and 08, 416 regular season touchdowns, 36 playoffs.
He was a damn good quarterback.
Yeah, he was. Like I said, for how big he was, yes. Did he move fast? No. But when he moved, you couldn't stop the momentum.
And he was a big part of those mid to late 2000 Steelers teams.
Oh, yeah. He drove them.
You had him, you had Hines,
move.
you had Harrison, you had Polamalu. My God, Polamalu.
Him and his hair.
I am not, we all know at this point my wife's a Steelers fan. I'm not a Steelers fan, but I could watch Polamalu play defense all day.
He was a dangerous defenseman. He had timing down perfectly for a lot of the jumps off the line.
There's a great clip of him leaping over, because he's a safety. There's a great clip of him going from his position as safety, leaping over the linemen of both teams and getting the quarterback.
Like I said, he had the timing down. He was a dangerous defenseman that way. He was a dangerous defensive player for what he could do. His hits were hard as anything.
Yes. I can think of when I see that clip is in The Water Boy when the quarterback's like, please don't hit me. I'm sorry. There's another great story out there about Polamalu. Oh, and I'm blanking on his name now. Former kicker for the Colts. He wrestled for a little bit. And I can't think of his name now. Pat McAfee.
Does it start with an Yes, I was just going to say, does it start with an M? If it did, that's the first one I was going to guess.
Pat McAfee tells a story about they have a play specifically set up And now Pat's a Pittsburgh guy. He's from the area, right? Like he grew up a Steelers fan. And the Colts were playing the Steelers, and they had a trick play where Pat would have been able to score in his hometown in Heinz Field. And the whole idea was that like Polamalu is not going to be on this play. They never put Polamalu on special teams.
Sure enough, they probably did.
They put Polamalu on special teams, and at the last second, Pat's like, "We need to change it. We need to change."
Well, yeah, because he's probably going to be hit with a train.
I don't do the story justice, but it is a tremendous story.
I mean, that's how Balmalu hit. He hit like a train. And like I said, his timing down for getting through the defensive line. I mean, like you just said, going over both sets of linemen or just getting to the quarterback. His timing was perfect. And the way he played defense was the way a defense player should play it. He played his position well.
I mean, those Steelers teams from that time period were really old school football teams. Like they played a throwback kind of style because they were hard hitting. I mean, for as much as they were a passing team, they were just as much a running team. I mean, they were going to grind a touchdown out of every play if they could.
They were a grinding team. That's pretty much what sums it up. They were a grinding team.
Yeah.
It's not like they were a finesse team. It was we're going to hurt you. We're going to hit you. You're going to feel it.
We're going to take what you give, and we're going to bounce back and score on you. Yeah.
I mean, you could hit us as hard as you want, but we're just going to run you over. That's basically how they were. And it wasn't just like, with Ben, it was the whole team doing this. But Ben, I mean, he stood in the pocket, took the lickings, and kept on ticking.
I mean, something Jamie and I always talked about was like Hines Ward he'd get a hit running the ball, and he'd still have a smile on his face. Like he loved it. I mean, that's the kind of team they had where, you know what? Yeah, hit me. I'm going to get back up with a smile on my face, and I'm going to run this ball in, And then on the other side, you have Brady, who's you hate saying it, but he's kind of the opposite. He was more of a finesse kind of. He didn't take a lot of hits.
No, he didn't. He had a good line in front of him too that could stop those from happening. Those
right, but he wasn't. I mean,
he's not a runner. He wasn't. He wasn't a runner. I mean,
the knock on Brady is he wasn't tough. I mean, clearly we know now that. I mean, to have played as late in his life as he has, he was tough.
I mean, playing 40, up until the age of 44, accomplishing everything he has done. I mean, it's remarkable.
But he's still no Joe Montana.
Well, no, they said I saw a funny. I saw a funny clip. You call Brady the GOAT, and then they showed a picture of Montana. Never lost a Super Bowl. Never was picked off in a Super Bowl, and it just started going down the list of everything like in a Super Bowl. Brady has not. Or Brady has, but Montana has not.
Wasn't Joe the guy that got Brady into wanting to be a quarterback? Like, wasn't that who Brady watched?
I believe he was I think Brady was a San Francisco fan, if I remember hearing that right. And yeah, I think that's what the story was. I'm just trying to remember that because I remember hearing something along those lines. But yeah, I mean, when you have 7 rings, you could probably, he'll probably just sit there like, okay, talk trash about me. I'm sitting here with 7 Super Bowls.
No, I mean he is the GOAT quarterback. And we talked about this last year when we talked about late draft picks. To me, Brady is the quintessential written off player who showed everyone up. And
like you took me this late. This is what I'm going to do for you.
And you know what? He gets hated on, and we've all hated on him. We all have.
So he thinks that he gets hated on because he was that good.
But he worked hard for it. You can't be a 6th-round draft pick to only be a backup and have a short career, and then blow everyone away with the career you do have without working hard. Like, it doesn't happen. You have to have a work ethic to make that happen. And for as much as we've all hated on him, he's earned every bit of success he's had.
I mean, he's one of those players to where you hate him if he's not on your team. That's basically what it is. You hate him if he's not on your team. I guarantee you, every Buccaneers fan When he was with the Patriots, hated his guts. When as soon as he became a Buccaneer, everybody loved him. Some Patriot fans hated him. Some Patriots fans still loved him.
And now they suck again. Both teams.
Pretty much. You know, I mean, Brady's 7 Super Bowls, 5 Super Bowl MVPs. 5. You know, I mean, Brady has 624 regular season touchdowns. 624. The next active quarterback underneath him is 5th, Aaron Rodgers at 449. What is that telling you of that much of a gap for active quarterbacks? I mean, Roethlisberger, he's ranked 8th in that list. You know, but to have those numbers, what can you say about it?
Well, Stafford's 12th on that list. Russell Wilson's 15th. Matt Ryan's 9th. So, I mean, there's still some active guys who are on that list.
Yeah, but here's the thing, though. One, I don't think Rodgers is going to be hitting 600 anytime soon.
I don't think Wilson is either. I think Matt Ryan's soon going to be hanging it up. Stafford, sadly, after 13 seasons, is finally on a team that can actually catch the ball. So,
right?
We'll get to that later.
Yeah. You know, yeah. I mean, no, you're right. It's all about teams who can catch the ball. I mean, let me think about it. Brady was on a team that couldn't catch the ball. Where would he be? And the thing is, though, with a lot of these quarterbacks now, you have great careers, but well, look at Drew Bledsoe. If he didn't get injured, Brady wouldn't have got in.
Right.
Actually, I think it was a list because I think Brady was actually 4th back from the primary start. If I remember reading that right. And then injuries, and then all of a sudden here comes Brady, who got the start, and all of a sudden just skyrockets from there. Same thing with
flourished.
Ben. You know, same thing with Ben. You know, there was an injury. They threw in the backup. Boom. His career took off. Because, well, a backup, you know, you're hungry. You want to make that, you want to make that push. You want to become that guy. You want to take that starting position. And they both took it, and their careers, I say, you know, Brady's a big shoe-in for the Hall of Fame, and I think Ben is too.
Oh, I think Ben's going in.
You know, I think they're both going in. I say first round both.
I think the Pro Football Hall of Fame is a lot more lenient than the Baseball Hall of Fame. So I think they're getting in.
You don't say, right? I mean, I thought baseball was so lenient. Yeah, I heard a lot of things with the baseball after the announcements of who's in the Hall of Fame.
That would have been a whole episode onto itself if we were going to discuss that.
Yeah, we still can. Maybe we can get Baseball Together involved in this.
It's probably best we don't. We got it. I mean, enough baseball stuff to worry about right now is going to be
if there's a baseball.
Great, right? Well, there's going to be minor league baseball.
Well, that's a plus, at least,
because they're not under the CBA. They're not part of the Players Union for Major League Baseball. So no matter what, there will be a minor league baseball season this year. So that's good for us.
Go to games. Absolutely, go to those games. They're always fun to go to. But yeah, I mean, I say, you know, like I said, they're both in the Hall of Fame first round. So definitely, you know, I think this is going to be the end of eras for the way quarterbacks are, with Drew Brees retiring, and when Manning went out, and then now Brady and Roethlisberger. Aaron Rodgers is really the only one left.
I think he's soon done if he's not done this year.
I think he's still playing. My understanding, they might be looking for another team for him.
I heard the Colts. That's who I've been hearing.
But if you think about it, though, who else is out there than Aaron Rodgers that is from that time. Is from when
that 2001 to 2010 period of football.
Yeah, I mean, you don't see anything else. That's the thing. You don't see any other quarterbacks stepping up the way they did.
2000 to now, it was a great period of football just to watch, to see young players grow and become superstars, especially the quarterbacks. So, yeah, you're right. I mean, this is definitely going to be the end of an era, and it's going to be weird next season without Brady. I mean,
Rodgers was an 05 pick, first round of 24 overall. So, yeah, he was an 05. I mean, really, you don't, he's the last one of that time frame where quarterbacks were, you've seen a good high caliber of quarterbacks between Brady, Ben, Rodgers even. Drew Brees is out because, he was always a big one to watch.
I forgot Manning. Joe Flacco's still playing.
He's still playing? I thought he was done.
ESPN has him listed as active. Or he was active for this season. Let's check out Pro Football Reference. The Jets.
Funny enough, I just clicked on the same thing as soon as you said that. Wow, the Jets, really. I mean, looks like he only was 2 games played, though. Yeah, 2 games played. That's it.
Well, it is what it is.
For the Jets. So I think he's going to be.
But you know what? He had a heck of a career with the Ravens.
Yeah, he did. That he did. He did have a big career with the Ravens. He has a Super Bowl win. Unfortunately, it's against the Niners. But yeah, it's the end of an era for these for quarterbacks. I mean, Aaron Rodgers is the only one left. Yeah, Brady.
I mean, at least from that group. Yeah, from that group.
Yeah, in that group, because who else of a big caliber are you going to see now? Who else of that big caliber who can play the way the way that group did?
I mean, there's definitely quarterbacks who can play at a high level right now, but they're a different generation if you really consider it.
Exactly. Of that core.
I just don't want to take anything away from the very talented quarterbacks there are now by saying.
Well, no, there are definitely highly talented quarterbacks now. Yes, but to see players, to watch the evolving of these players, like again, Brady,
all of them at that same time frame.
The competition level between you had Brady and Manning. You had Brees,
Rivers, you had Rodgers, you had
the big mix.
Brees, you had Ben. There's someone else I can think of, Eli.
Yeah, both Mannings. Well, Brady couldn't beat Manning. He couldn't beat Eli in the Super Bowl. Of course, I think it still gets him that he couldn't beat Nick Foles in the Super Bowl either.
Nick Foles is going to be a Philly folk hero the rest of his life.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely, he will.
And
it's going to turn into a Wentz who. That's basically what it's going to turn into.
He didn't catch on anywhere else, and whatever he did right in Philadelphia. I mean, he was able to rally that team when Wentz went down and led them into the playoffs and led them to the Super Bowl. And God bless
led them against Brady.
The Philly special.
And I remember that Super Bowl being one hell of a quarterback, of just barely any defense. It was all offense, which was fun to see. Just to them watch the exciting plays. It was a back and forth offensive, shootout. But yeah, no, it's going to be interesting to see who's going to step up and fill the shoes. See how far some of these quarterbacks can go. So on that note, that'd be the end of the first period. We'll be right back.